good, YouTube? It's your boy Jaxx Jackal from the Game Knights, back with another banger video. Today we're diving into a hardcore randomized Nuzlocke of Pokemon Emerald. For those of you that are new here, if a Pokemon faints, it's dead and we have to put it in the box. I can only catch the first encounter per route, no items in battle. We're trying not to overlevel past the next gym leader, and we're playing on set mode with no damage calculators. With that being said, remember to leave a like, comment, and share the video to let us know that you want more content like this. Maybe even to drop a sub if you're feeling kind enough. Now let's jump right into attempt 1. For our first attempt, our starter choices are Hypno, Stantler, and Omanyte. We end up picking up the Stantler after weighing out the options. I hope I don't end up regretting not grabbing the Hypno. Our Stantler manages to one-shot the Zigzagoon that was attacking Birch, and after saving his life, he lets us keep the Stantler as a thank you, which we name Rudolph. Birch then wants us to go find his daughter, and like, fine, I'll do it, but dude, that's kinda like your job. Anyway, we track down May, and she wants to battle, and my hands are gender inclusive, so we tussle. She sends out the Hypno, and I send out my Stantler, and the battle starts, with Rudolph hitting a tackle, but ends up being put to sleep turn 1. Okay, sleep hacks in the first fight, that's fine. We wake up the turn after and hit another tackle, knocking the Hypno down to the red. One last tackle is all we need, and just like that, May is defeated. Afterwards, Birch decides to give us a Pokedex to complete, and May jumpstarts our journey by giving us 5 Pokeballs, and our lock officially starts. I don't think that dex is getting completed though. Our first encounter is Lord Helix himself. We catch and add the ancient deity to the party. With God on our side, our luck might just turn around. Okay, first trainer time. Oh, that's level 5 Nidoking. I'm sure Lord Helix can handle it. Lord Helix, no! Lord Helix died to a double kick, leaving me with just the Stantler. Our Lord slain. I'm stuck with a deer. Stantler kills the Nidoking in vengeance. Okay, so as long as we don't run into a ghost type, we should fuck. The next trainer has a Misdreavus, which is a ghost type, and my only attack is Tackle. I cannot hit this thing since ghost type Pokemon are immune to normal attacks, and it knows Psywave. Yeah, this is the end of attempt 1, and I blame Stantler. Attempt 2, The Legend of Blade. Huh? It was a dream? Well, anyway, we got our starters to choose from. We have the options between Scizor, Vaporeon, and Kabutops. All great Pokemon. One of them has always been high on my list of favorites. And no, it is not Vaporeon. Pervert.
Pervert. $4 in seed. Pervert. Pervert. What do you call it, pervert?
It's written on the bill.
We chose Scizor, which we end up naming Blade. Blade might be a little quirky and oblivious, but he's the heart of the team, and will lead us to greatness. We battle May and her Kabutops, a true battle of Scizor versus Scythe. We end up getting stuck in a loop of Leer versus Harden, Leer versus Harden, Leer versus Harden, neither one of us wanting to let the other get ahead. Eventually though, May makes a critical mistake and attacks a few times, instead of hardening, allowing me to get the advantage in Leers, which gave Blade just enough damage to put this fossil back into the ground. May is defeated and we get the Pokedex and balls from May and her father. Our first encounter is a level 3 Typhlosion, and despite his now ruined reputation, thank you Nintendo, we are able to catch him and add him to the team. Welcome Flint Cole. If Blade is the heart of the team, then Flint is the soul. With 2 party members, we go to get our third encounter. Nope, kill it and move on. I do not want that karma. After killing yet another Stantler, we head to get our next encounter on Route 102, which ends up being an Effect Spore Magikarp I nicknamed Chosen. Remember him. I feel like he might just be important later on, but for now he gets the box. We battle a few trainers on our way to Petalburg to meet with our father. Nothing that Blade and Flint can't handle though. Blade hits a crit on a Dodrio, which will be his go-to move. He's basically Yugioh with Black Flash. Then out comes a Jirachi, which eats Blade's best attacks. So I switch into Flint to get the kill. They really are the dynamic duo. We end up meeting up with our dad when the small, sickly looking green-haired kid walks into the gym and demands a Pokemon from my dad, as if my dad's the Pokemon professor. Well, anyway, my dad lends the boy a Pokemon to go catch his own and tasks us with babysitting. And he's not paying us. Whatever. Afterwards, we head west and encounter a wild cloister that we named Memories, cause it reminds me of my ex. But just like me and my ex, it doesn't last long as it's immediately killed by a confusion from a fucking Mewtwo. Anyway, now this is a great time to explain why Blade gets so many crits. Focus energy boosts your critical hit ratio for the entire battle by a lot. And I was able to pick up a scope lens, which also increases critical hits. Critical hits ignore positive defensive stat changes and negative attack stat changes, and gives 2 times damage boost to the attack, which means that Blade can cut through almost anything. We keep the strategy until we get Swords Dance later on. Oh, and we kill a Metapod encounter in the woods, Rip the Goat. As we continue, we run into the first Team Aqua Grunt, who we beat with ease. I never understood Team Aqua. Like, they do realize that they need land to live on, right? Like, they would all die if their plan succeeded. After dealing with that though, we make it to Rustboro City, which means we can get more encounters, which ends up being a Lapras that we add to the team, and we name it Nessie. Original, I know. We also catch a Chansey that we name Nurse in the cave, which by the way, Chansey is the only spawn. Oh yeah, found the farm. Next we head over to the first gym to challenge its leader, Chef Mallory. She leads off with a Flaffy, which I later found out had huge power by the way, which is an ability that doubles the Pokemon's attack stat. It's the best ability in the game. We switch Nessie out of the battle and into Blade. Flaffy growls, lowering its attack, but that's okay, we can crit it. Blade tanks a Thunder Shock. We retaliate with a quick attack, but we don't get the crit. Mallory heals with a potion, Blade just below 50%. Now hits another quick attack, and it crits, dropping the Flaffy to red. Another critical hit quick attack seals the fate of Flaffy as it's defeated. Next out is Poliwag, her ace Pokemon. But oh no, Poliwag lands Hypnosis, putting Blade to sleep. I don't think we will be seeing Blade again this battle. Out comes Nessie to deal with the Wag. But Nessie gets outsped and eats 2 bubbles before firing off a Body Slam, but Poliwag heals the damage with a berry and lands another Hypnosis. But Nessie wakes up the next turn hitting a Savage Body Slam which forces the potion heal. Nessie doesn't let up though with the Body Slams. Poliwag goes down. Mallory sends out her final Pokemon, a level 12 Slowbro. Slowbro resists pretty much everything I can throw at it, and it can also deal massive damage since it can and will set up with Curse, which raises your attack and defense but lowers your speed. Like Slowbro cares about his speed. And it has Cute Charm as its ability. Yeah, this might be the end of the run. No, I can't give up hope. There's still one Pokemon I can put my faith into. Rip Nurse, we will win this for you. We send out Flint Cole to see if he can do anything, but he gets Cute Charmed immediately and I'm forced to switch. Looking at the team, I know who I need, but it's risky. No, Nurse didn't die for nothing, we have to try. Go, Blade. Blade is below half HP and asleep. The Slowbro is now +5 attack and +4 defense. We need to wake up, set up his focus energy, and land a crit if we have any hope to win. Blade wakes up, but he woke up locked in and angry. Focus energy goes up, Blade goes for the pursuit, but Slowbro lives with 5 HP left, but Slowbro goes for Yawn instead of the kill. Blade takes this opportunity, and with a final pursuit, Slowbro falls to the ground defeated, and we get the first gym badge and the TM for Dig. We actually made it through that battle. We could have easily wiped that Slowbro. Had it gotten a critical hit on any one of the tackles on Blade, we would have lost the run. We will be prepared for the next gym. Bet on that. Oh hi May. Battle? Okay. Bye May. After defeating her, we take a boat over to Dewford Town, where we pick up a fishing rod and put that thing to work immediately. We end up fishing up a Sandshrew that, with the help of a false swipe from Blade, we catch and name Sandy. Sandy has Volt Absorb. Next we encounter a Tentacruel that we end up catching, and since it's a female, I think there's no better name for it than Hentai. So, Hentai has huge power, So we drop off Nessie in the box to add Hentai instead. Enjoy your retirement, Nessie! We head back to the Chansey Cave to level up Sandy and Hentai. By the way, this is 300% speed. We were here for a while. While we do some grinding in the background, let me remind you guys to hit that like and subscribe button and turn on notifications with the bell. It really helps us here at the Game Nights Out, and we really appreciate it. Let's try hitting 1,000 subs before the end of next year. That being said, let's get back to the challenge run. Now that everyone is leveled up, we can move on to our next goal, being a mailman. We give Steven Stone a letter from his dad and he gives us a TM, then leaves. After, we head back to Petalburg to do some fishing, where we encounter the legendary Pokemon Groudon. But this guy is just a little baby. And we have Sandy already. I don't think we need him right now. I don't want to throw Sandy away just because I got something better. We do end up catching the Groudon and name it Sediment. Interestingly, he has Volt Absorb just like Sandy. Huh. I wonder if that's foreshadowing. But he goes in the box for now. Before going back to Dewford, we pick up the EXP share from Steven's dad. That will be important later. We head back to the Dewford gym and encounter a double battle. They send out a Cloyster and a Magneton. I send out Sandy and Flint Cole. We see that we have the kill on Magneton with Dig from Sandy, so we click it, and we switch Flint out for Blade. I think that Sandy should move first, but Cloyster hits an Aurora Beam on Sandy, instantly killing her. No, Sandy! We've had deaths before in this run. Hell, we've even lost a run, but nothing hit as bad as losing Sandy. I had such high hopes for her, and I let Sandy down. But how was I supposed to know that Cloyster outsped? Well, I guess that memory the Cloyster got its revenge in the end. But I won't take it lying down. No. Now I won't stop until everyone in this gym lays cold at my feet. Flint, Cole, and Blade avenge their fallen comrade and take out the Cloyster and Magneton. We head back to the Pokemon Center and give Sandy a true funeral. And we add Sediment the Groudon to the team. I mean, it had the same type and ability. He was made to replace Sandy. It's like the game reforged Sandy's soul into something that would survive this Nuzlocke. We headed our way over to Slateport, and we clear out every single trainer on the beach. We are getting our levels up to the limit while training up Sediment so that we can crush Brawly. Now it's time to take our vengeance. We make our way through the gym, destroying everyone and anyone who dare challenge me. Each person fell in our wake. Then, only one was left. The gym leader. Come here, bitch! The battle starts off. I lead with Blade. Brawly leads with Breloom. Blade starts off with a Focus Energy, and Breloom misses Stun Spore. Turn 2, and Blade lands a Quick Attack, but is hit by Stun Spore. On the next turn, Blade Quick Attacks again. Blade then uses Quick Attack again while Breloom goes for a Leech Seed. But that won't save it, as a final Quick Attack from Blade takes out the Breloom. Next out is Combustion, so we swap our 4 times weak to fire Pokemon out for Sediment, who eats an Ember on the switch in. That would have killed Blade. Sediment fires off a Mud Shot, which kills the Combustion in 1 hit. The last Pokemon is Shelter, the pre-evolution of Cloyster, the bitch that killed my Sandy. We swap into Hentai because we are going to rated R on this Shelter. 2 Crush Claws later and Shelter is reduced to dust as we walk out with our second gym badge in honor of Sandy. I'll never forget you, friend. Anyway, after getting our revenge on Brawly, we exit his gym and head for Mawile City. But on the way there, we get stopped by May, who wants to battle. May leads with her Espeon and I lead with Sediment. We go for an Ancient Power hoping for the Omni boost, but we don't get it. Just my luck. We land a Mud Shot on the next turn to take it out. May then sends out her Kabutops and we stay in and just click Mud Shot. And eventually we take it out. May sends out her final Pokemon Dugong. So we gotta switch like now. So out comes the Hentai monster herself. Hentai tanks an Icy Wind and a Headbutt as it comes out, but fires back with a Crush Claw. On the next turn, Dugong lands a critical hit Headbutt and nearly kills Hentai, but with a final Crush Claw. Hentai slays the Dugong and we're headed off to Mauville. Our next encounter is a Grovyle that we catch and name Hunter. Hunter also has huge power as its ability, so he's added to our team immediately. You're honestly lucky to get a single huge power Pokemon in a randomizer, but we have 2 on 1 team. That's insane. I have no reason to lose this run. With our new friend Hunter trained and leveled up, we make our way to Watson for our 3rd gym badge. Watson leads with the Flareon and I lead with my signature Sediment, who fires off a Mud Shot, taking out the Flareon as soon as the battle starts. Watson sends out a Kabutops, but what he doesn't know is that our rival also has a Kabutops, and while his is stronger, I know how to defeat them thanks to her. Sediment holds firm, blasting out Mud Shots until eventually the Kabutop goes down. Watson then sends out a Trapinch for some reason, which lives on 1 HP after Sediment uses Slash. A feisty little guy, huh? After a few more slashes, the Trapinch faints and Watson sends out his last Pokemon, a level 24 Bagon, which eats a Mud Shot, heals with a berry, tanks a Slash before ultimately dying to Sediment's Mud Shot. And that's the story of how Sediment solo swept the 3rd gym. GG, Watson, you sucked. We enter Meteor Falls, where we come across Team Aqua and Team Magma arguing about something, but I didn't really care to listen. I think they were arguing if the water inside the cave was wet or not. I don't know though. But we follow them to the volcano where Maxie challenges me to a battle. Maxie leads with a Metagross and I lead with Flint. We have the type advantage, so we go for an Ember while Metagross goes for a Scary Face, then a takedown. We hit it with another Ember, Metagross goes down. Next out for Maxie is an Omanyte. So we make a pivot into Hunter the Grovyle, who quickly sucks the life out of Omanyte while Maxie heal stalls. I guess Flint likes seafood. Omanyte eventually dies and Maxie brings out Hitmontop. We switch into Hentai to turn this battle into a porno, but not before eating 2 quick attacks to the face. But Hentai fires back with a Crush Claw, dropping Hitmontop's defenses. A single acid from Hentai afterwards leaves Hitmontop as nothing but a pile of bones in front of a defeated man. On the next route, we encounter our next team member, Cotton the Swablu. And I know he's a little weak right now, but with enough love and time in the party holding the XP share, I have faith he will become a pillar of support for this team. But for now, mascot duties. With our new friend in the party, we head straight into Flannery's gym, unaware of the impending doom that lurked inside. I take a wrong hole and get trapped by a double battle. They lead with a Pelipper and a Slowking, while I lead with Hunter and Sediment. Not a good matchup for me, but I do see kills on both opposing Mons. But Sediment fails to kill the Pelipper, but Hunter was caught off guard by Pelipper's wing attack, followed by a tackle from Slowking. Time freezes as I watch Hunter, my beloved huge power Grovyle, gets killed right in front of me. And the worst part is that it's my fault. I didn't see the double team attack coming. I thought they would focus the legendary since they both are water type. But it's too late. Hunter's lifeless body lies in front of me. What do I do?
Fight.
Hunter would want me to fight. Now is not the time to grieve. We have a mission to do. Flannery, you're gonna pay. Blade enters the battlefield protecting his friend's corpse. He and Hentai work together to take out the murderous Pelipper and Slowking. We laid our good boy Hunter to rest next to Sandy in the graveyard, and turned our attention to Flannery. The battle starts and she sends out a Bulbasaur, and I lead with my signature Sediment. We switch into Flint to gain the advantage, but we end up tanking a Razor Leaf for the efforts. A couple of Embers and Razor Leafs later, and the Bulbasaur goes down. Next up is Bellsprout, which get one-tapped by Flint's Ember attack. It must be Weenie Hut Jr. hour at Flannery's gym, because the next Pokemon is a Silcoon, which also gets one-shot by Amber. Flannery sends out her last Pokemon, a Xatu, so we switch straight into Sediment, who roars into battle a little slowly, but he does kill the Xatu with 2 ancient powers, and that was the end of Flannery. Honestly, the loss of Hunter hit even harder than Sandy, and I don't want to feel that again. I can't imagine how it would feel if I lost Blade, Sediment, Hentai, or Flint, so I vowed on Hunter's grave not to let a single more Pokemon of mine die for the rest of the run until the Elite Four. With that, we make our way to the 5th gym, which is my father's gym. We take a step in and are greeted by my father, who is ready for battle. He starts off with an Electrike and I lead with Hentai, so we got a switch like yesterday. Sediment switches in for Hentai, while the Electrike howls at a wall, before getting one-shot by Mudshot on the following turn. My dad then sends out a Marill, and we switch into Hentai since we don't have a good answer to water Pokemon. Marill goes down to a Crush Claw Acid combo though. Then dad sends out a Kirlia, forcing me to switch into Blade, who hits a Pursuit while Kirlia double teams up. The next turn we go for Focus Energy, only to be met with a Psychic. We then miss a Metal Claw and eat yet another Psychic. We finally land the Metal Claw on the following turn and kill the Kirlia. It might not be fairy yet, but it still dies like one. We switch into Sediment, predicting the electric attack. Sediment then slams Ampharos with a massive Mud Shot, while Ampharos plays speed control and heals with a Citrus Berry, but dies to the next Mud Shot anyways. Dad is defeated and we claim our 5th badge without any problems. Our next order of business is getting to Fortree City, but first Wally's dad gives us Surf, opening up most of the map, and while we explore, Cotton finally evolves into Altaria, who is insanely bulky and has great typing and learns Dragon Dance. Perfect for the team. We then hit up the Weather Institute and we battle Team Aqua's admin, who is definitely hotter in the remakes. She leads with the Dragonair and I lead with Flint. I have to switch into Hentai to go for an ice move, but get hit with a Thunder Wave. Then get flinched by Twister. Nice. Then Dragonair uses Dragon Rage and I get fully paralyzed. Dragonair uses another Dragon Rage, leaving Hentai with only 16 HP. So I go for the switch into the big red button that is Sediment, who tanks a Dragon Rage and heals with leftovers. Sediment then fires off a powerful mud shot, nearly killing the Dragonair. Dragonair uses another Dragon Rage, dropping Sediment to 20 HP. We decide to go for the safe play and switch into Blade to clean up with a slash, cutting the Dragonair in half. The admin sends out her next Pokemon, Absol, one of my favorites, but through a combination of Focus Energy and Slash, Blade takes down the Absol without much issue at all. After her defeat, we head straight out of the Weather Institute, only to get ambushed by May, who once again wants to battle. But I forgot to heal right before the fight. Let's hope I can win. She sends out a Krabby and I send out Flint, who can't do much to a water type in the rain. So we swap into Cotton for his first battle. A single spark from Cotton takes out the Krabby. May sends out Donphan next, who I always thought was Gen 3 for some reason as a kid. A Dragon Breath reveals that its ability is color change, so we abuse it and take out the Donphan with Cotton. May's final Pokemon is her starter Kabutops, but 2 sparks from Cotton is enough to leave it paralyzed and fainted. After the fight, May gives us the HM for Fly, and we make our way to the next gym. And on the way there, we end up catching a Salamence that we named Acologia. Not that we ever use him, but if you get the reference, let me know in the comments. We continue to make our way to Winona to challenge her for the 6th badge, stopping to heal before the fight. Being prepared is always a good thing. The battle starts and she leads off with a Metatite, and I lead Sediment. Sediment hits a Mud Shot that one-shots the Metatite. Her second Pokemon is a Cacturn, so we switch into Flint to burn it to death, which Flint happily does with a single Blaze Kick. Her third Pokemon is a Quagsire, so we're going to switch again into Hentai to tank the water or ice moves that it has. Hentai lands a huge Sludge Bomb that poisons the Quagsire, who uses Amnesia, upping his special defense stat by 2 stages. Hentai uses Strength, but gets hit with a deadly Mud Shot, but the Quagsire dies to the poison right after. Her next Pokemon is a Deoxys, so we switch into our own legendary Pokemon, Blade the Caesar, who comes out and eats 2 Psychics and lands a weak Slash against Deoxys. Blade slashes again while Deoxys uses Knock Off and heals with an Oran Berry. Feeling the momentum shift, we switch into Sediment to regain it. Sediment tanks a Psychic but is hurt pretty badly, but it kills the Deoxys with a Mud Shot. Her final Pokemon is a Wigglytuff that gets one-shot by Sediment's Vital Throw, and we claim our 6th badge. Yet another deathless gym fight. After stopping to heal up at the Pokemon Center, we're off to Lily Cove City. I want to hit up the department store for some juicy TMs, but first we have to fight May, and unlike last time, I'm fully healed, motherfucker. Yeah, you thought shit was sweet, huh? But she upgraded her team as she sends out a Milotic, and I lead with Sediment, so I need to switch into Hentai, who eats a Water Pulse, but retaliates with a Sludge Bomb that critical hits and one-shots the Milotic. I guess Hentai has been training with Blade. Her next Pokemon is a Golem, who instantly dies to a Surf from Hentai. May then sends out her starter Pokemon Kabutops, so I stay in with Hentai, knowing it can't touch me, and I hit Surf before swapping into Cotton. Cotton is unaffected by Kabutop's Mud Shot and lands 2 clean Sparks to take out the Kabutop. May's final Pokemon is a Pidgeot, so we stay in and spark the big bird twice, taking it out. And that's the final battle with May done and taken care of. Inside, the store was selling TMs for Earthquake, for cheap. So I buy 5 of them and teach pretty much everyone on the team Earthquake. After our detour in Lily Cove, we head over to Mount Pyre, where Team Aqua is up to no good stealing red balls or something. But I think that they're looking for blue balls. No wait, no one's looking for blue balls. They just happen. We then fly over to Lavaridge to go infiltrate Team Magma's base cause Maxie's being naughty. We ride the carriage up the volcano and are brought face to face with Maxie. After Maxie shows me his blue balls, he decides he wants to fight me. And I'm down. He leads off with an Ampharos and I lead with Cotton. Cotton launches an Earthquake at Ampharos, who answers with a Thunder Wave, paralyzing Cotton. Maxie then heals the Ampharos before Cotton hits another Earthquake. Ampharos lands a few nice thunder punches, but Cotton shrugs them off before killing the Ampharos with a final earthquake. Maxi sends out a Dragonite, and I'm forced to switch into Sediment, who starts a barrage of ancient powers. While Maxi heals his Dragonite, we run out of ancient powers, and can no longer hit the Dragonite. Luckily, one Vital Throw was enough to kill it. Maxi sends out his next Pokemon, a Sceptile, that we know has huge power since we had its pre-evolution Hunter. We switch into Flint, who traces the huge power from Sceptile. Sceptile lands a Leaf Blade as we land our Blaze Kick, almost one-shotting the lizard. A quick attack later and the Sceptile goes down. Maxi runs away after he's defeated, and we head to Slateport to deal with Team Aqua, who is stealing a whole submarine. Why is Team Aqua generally way more evil than Team Magma? Like, all Team Magma have done is try to get a volcano to erupt? Like, that's not even that bad. Anyway, we follow them back to Lily Cove, clean through their base, then we have to fight the other Aqua admin. He starts off with the Raichu, and I start off with my Hentai. But I won't be forced to switch. Hentai hits a devastating earthquake and kills the electric rodent in one hit. His final Pokemon is a Cradily, or as I like to call him, 8 Dicks. Good old 8 Dicks gets hit with an earthquake that nearly kills it, but Hentai finishes it off with a Sludge Bomb. After the fight, the admin laughs at us as the submarine leaves, and we gotta track it down. But first, it's gym time. Next up is Tate and Liza, a double battle. And we all know how well those have been going for us this run. Poor Hunter. I'm still salty about that. Anyway, they start off the fight with a Kingdra and a Poliwrath, and I lead Sediment and Cotton. I am in danger and I don't even realize it yet. We switch Sediment out for Hentai and Cotton goes for Fly on the Poliwrath, but Kingdra uses Twister and flinches Cotton, preventing it from attacking. Poliwrath then uses Submission on Cotton. The next turn, Hentai uses Earthquake, while Cotton tries to go for the Fly. Kingdra uses Agility, doubling its speed, while Poliwrath goes for the Hypnosis, putting Hentai to sleep, while Cotton takes flight. Our next turn, Kingdra lands a nasty Twister before Cotton slams down on Poliwrath, killing it. Hentai is still asleep. They send out a Mr. Mime, and we switch Hentai out for Sediment and Cotton out for Blade. We are in a predicament because I can't click Earthquake because it will damage my Pokemon too. And the only safe Pokemon to use it with is Cotton, who is already almost dead. But one Earthquake would kill the opponents. But for now, Sediment just clicks the Ancient Power on the Kingdra, while Blade goes for a Brick Break on the Kingdra as well. But even that failed to take out the Kingdra, and my Pokemon are both about half HP. The next turn, we click Ancient Power and Metal Claw, hoping to just kill this damn Kingdra. But they use a potion on it to fully restore the Kingdra's HP. We have to just go for the Earthquake at this point. So we switch Blade out for Cotton, hoping that they don't attack into Cotton's slot. Kingdra Water Gun Sediment, who tanks it. Mr. Mime Psybeams Cotton, who ends up tanking the hit, which gives Sediment the go-ahead to Earthquake. And with that Earthquake, Sediment knocks out the Kingdra and the Mr. Mime in one powerful attack. They send out their final Pokemon, a Nidoking. If Nidoking outspeeds, it will kill Cotton. But in that moment, I felt Hunter watching down from above, and he gave me the confidence that I needed. And just like that, Nidoking goes down. We managed to escape the battle without losing a team member, even if it was extremely close. The 7th badge is ours. After that nerve-rattling battle, we head over to the Space Center since Team Magma is holding people hostage. Maxi and Steven are arguing about random stuff, and Steven asks me to help him battle Maxi. So we choose our finest 3 warriors, Sediment, Cotton, and Hentai, and the battle starts. This is yet another double battle. They lead with an Azumarill and a Levitate Nidoqueen. That's right, that Nidoqueen has Levitate. We send out Sediment and Steven sends out Metang. We start setting up bulk ups on Sediment as soon as the game starts. Nidoqueen hits Body Slam that paralyzes my Sediment, and Metang sets up a Reflect. On the next turn, we go for Earthquake, only to kill the Azumarill and Steven's Metang, and realize that Nidoqueen has Levitate. Their next Pokemon is a Charizard. Steven sends out Aggron. Sediment goes for Ancient Power on the Charizard to hit for 4 times effective, but gets fully parried. Charizard hits Aggron with a massive flamethrower on the next turn, but Aggron fires back with a Thunder that one-shots the Charizard. Okay, damn Steven. Their next Pokemon is Salamence. Sediment's Ancient Power hits the Salamence and one-shots it. On the next turn, we get fully parried, while Aggron hits a Dragon Claw, then goes down on the next turn to a double kick from the Nidoqueen. Steven sends out Skarmory, which means I'm free to EQ until my heart's content. But we take the moment to set up one more final bulk up while Skarmory takes out the Nidoqueen. Out comes their final Pokemon, Groudon. It's time for the little baby I've raised to step up and become the alpha of its species. Because I set up with my sediment, he was able to two-shot the opposing Groudon with Earthquake. That baby that we fished out of that puddle has finally become the dominant Groudon. It was scary, but we finally are able to move on from the cursed double battles and into the end game. We pick up Dye from Steven and track Team Aqua down. I solved the strength puzzle on the first try, then battle the optional Grunt and Admin afterwards just to assert dominance. With both defeated, we head to the next strength puzzle, which I also solve on the first attempt. And we find the TM for Morning Sun. That's going on Flint. It's always nice to have healing on demand in a hardcore Nuzlocke. We proceed further into the cave and we come across Sediment's rival Kyogre sleeping. As we get close, Archie, the leader of Team Aqua, shows up and wants to fight us. The battle begins and he sends out a Delcatty, and we send out Blade. We set up a swords dance as soon as the battle starts, but Delcatty uses Sing and puts us to sleep. We decide to stay in and tank the damage and sleep since Delcatty has zero way of doing noticeable damage to Blade, and we are already +2 attack and no need to lose it. We finally wake up after 3 turns and set up another swords dance. Blade is tired of the close calls and his friends dying, and he is ready to do something about it, even if it kills him. Blade is out for blood. Archie's final Pokemon and his ace is a Latios. Even with that, it must have been intimidated by Blade, because the legendary used Protect immediately. On the next turn, it tried to Protect again, but not even God, Arceus himself, could save Latios from the sting of Blade. And with a single Steel Wing, Latios is split in 2. Blade, standing victorious single-handedly, cements himself in history. We leave after the fight since Kyogre got pissy and left to fight Maxie's Groudon in Sootopolis City, where the 8th and final gym leader is. So we head over, and when we get there, the big fish and the lizard with the hurt ego are duking it out in the middle of the city. Not gonna lie though, that Groudon is standing on business in the middle of the water like that. Well, he's actually standing on rocks. But anyway, we get led to a cave by Steven, and inside we meet Wallace, the champion of the region. And he tells us that we gotta go get Rayquaza to come and settle the fish and lizard down. So we head out, and on the way we find an Entei in the cave. Yeah, you're coming with me, dog. We find the Sky Pillar, the home of Rayquaza, and Wallace unlocks the door for us. We enter the tower and come face to face with the Dragon of Legend. It lifts its head and flies away. I follow it on Cotton as fast as its wings could take me, landing just in time to witness its arrival. Rayquaza descends from the heavens like a parent scolding its children. It gives both the big fish and the deflated lizard a 500-year timeout, and the world is saved. Wallace unlocks the gym where the final gym leader awaits. Gym leader Juan. The battle starts and he leads with a Plusle. We lead with Blade going for another sweep, but decide to use Earthquake for the free kill. Next out is Ninetales, which forces me to switch since I'm 4 times weak to fire. So I go into Sediment, which tanks a fire spin, trapping Sediment in. But it was Ninetales that was actually trapped, as Sediment sends its soul to the Shadow Realm with an Earthquake. Next he sends out a Blastoise, which forces me again to switch into Hentai. We start off with a Sludge Bomb that gets blocked by Protect. Next turn we go for it again, landing a clean shot. Juan heals the Blastoise to full HP, only for it to get knocked back down to half HP with our strength attack. On the next turn, our Sludge Bomb lands and we take out the rejected Ninja Turtle. His next Pokemon is Kingler, so we stay in and hit a nasty Sludge Bomb, but get hit right back with a super effective Mud Shot that lowers my speed, and that will force me to switch out. Is what I would say if I was a bitch. We outspeed and kill the Kingler with a Sludge Bomb. The final gym leader sends out his final Pokemon, and it's a Charizard. So I make the switch back into Flint so that it can prove its dominance over the Gen 1 starter. Typhlosion versus Charizard. But Flint has a secret weapon. It knows Shockwave, and through a combination of Shockwaves and Morning Suns, Flint comes out on top, earning us the 8th and final gym badge. Now onto Victory Road and the Elite Four. We make our way over to Evergrande City and pull Jessie the Chimecho out of the box to be used as an HM slave to get through Victory Road. It gets Flash, Waterfall, and Rock Smash. As we're headed deeper into Victory Road, we get stopped by Wally, who wants to fight us to prove his strength. Okay, little guy, we can fight. He starts off with an Arbok, and we send in Cotton. Cotton wastes no time and lands an Earthquake, but ends up getting paralyzed from Arbok's glare. Cotton goes for another Earthquake, but we go second and are hit with an Acid before killing the Arbok. Next, Wally sends out his Swalot. We switch because of the Intimidate into Sediment, who cleans up the Swalot in a single Earthquake. Next, Wally sends out Magmar, yet another easy Earthquake victim. I really am just an Earthquake merchant at this point. Next out is Wally's Dustox, who gets one-shotted by a critical hit Ancient Power, and Wally's final Pokemon is a nightmare from the past, a Deoxys. Sediment gets hit for half of its HP from a Psycho Boost. Then Sediment nearly kills Deoxys with a single Earthquake and heals a little from leftovers. But just to be on the safe side, we switch into Blade while Wally heals Deoxys up. All part of the plan. Now that Deoxys is -2 special attack, I can go for Swords Dance and then one-shot it. We go for not just one Swords Dance, but 2 before we click Earthquake, finally leaving that ghost in the past. Oh, and Wally? You're still ass, by the way. We end up making our way through Victory Road and come out at the Pokemon League. But we still have some prep work we gotta do before we go in. Currently my team is only 5 Pokemon, and I'd like to have a full team of 6 going into the Elite Four. And I did take a while looking at all of the options. Maybe Entei? No, we have Flint. Maybe Huge Power Mareep we just caught in Victory Road. No, we already have too many ground weaknesses. Maybe Shrek the Marsh Stomp? No, we already have Groudon and Tentacruel. Shrek would be useless. Hell, I even checked Keegan the Lombre, and a random Totodile. We even went back and rechecked Shrek. But in the end, I knew who it was that I was going to be adding to my team. So we reached deep into the pond, and we withdrew the Golden Child. Chosen, the Magikarp, remember him? We caught him right after Flint Cole. I told you not to forget about him, because he's the final member of the party. We just couldn't risk having him in the party up until now. After picking up the Fish of Legends, we do some training and get everyone leveled up. The final team is looking like this. Flint Cole, level 53 Trace Typhlosion with Blaze Kick, Shockwave, Earthquake, and Morning Sun. Hentai, the level 53 Huge Power Tentacruel with the moves Sludge Bomb, Surf, Strength, and Earthquake. Cotton, the level 53 Rough Skin Altaria, rocking the moves Fly, Dragon Breath, Dragon Dance, and Earthquake. Blade, the level 53 Oblivious Caesar, rocking the moves Steel Wing, Brick Break, Earthquake, and Swords Dance. Chosen, the level 53 Effect Spore Gyarados, with the moves Drill Peck, Surf, Earthquake, and Dragon Dance. And lastly, Sediment, the level 55 Volt Absorb Groudon, Sandy Reborn. It knows the moves Earthquake, Vital Throw, Ancient Power, and Bulk Up. So with all of our final preparations done, we venture into the Elite Four. First up is Sydney, originally a Dark-type trainer. He starts the battle with a Butterfree, and we counter with Flint Cole, who traces the Speed Boost ability off of Butterfree. Flint lets loose a Blaze Kick that sends Butterfree to heaven. Sydney then counters me by sending out Dugtrio, a fast Pokemon that could easily kill Flint. So we make the switch into Chosen the Gyarados, since flying is immune to ground and water is super effective on it. We then kill Dugtrio with a Surf on the next turn. Next out is Azumarill, who takes a nasty Drill Peck right to the Kisser, and attempts to retaliate with a Double Edge, and nearly kills itself. Okay, Suicidal Bunnies. That's new. Sydney then sends out an Executor, who gets executed by Drill Peck. His final Pokemon is a Jumpluff, which also gets one-shot by a Drill Peck. Easy win. Next up is Phoebe, who normally uses Ghost Pokemon. The battle starts off, and she sends out the Pokemon that haunts Nuzlocke's dreams, Wobbuffet. But it's fine, I know how to defeat the blue blob, given that if you hit Wobbuffet and don't kill it, it will use Mirror Coat or Counter to KO you in one hit. The logical solution is get strong enough to put it in the dirt with a single hit. Her next Pokemon is a Politoed, who dies to a +6 Brick Break. Then she sends out yet another ghost from my past, Levitate Nidoqueen, that completely walls Blade. Blade wants this fight though, and he stays in, but he gets paralyzed from a body slam. We use another Brick Break and the Queen falls. Her next Pokemon is a Wigglytuff, who outspeeds Blade because of the para, and using Disable prevents Blade from attacking it with Brick Break. So instead we switch to Steel Wing, and Wigglytuff goes down. Her final Pokemon is a Xatu. Blade readies a Steel Wing while Xatu predicts an attack, and the attack predicted was Blade's Steel Wing, which one-shots the Xatu. The second member is defeated by yet another Blade Sweep. I really do love Blade. Onto our third member, Glacia, who normally uses Ice Pokemon. Glacia also leads with the same Wobbuffet, and we lead with Blade, so this should be an easy fight. Get +6 and sweep, right? Well, we end up taking out the Wobbuffet. But Glacia sends out yet another ghost from my past, and current member of our team, her own Groudon. But Blade is faster and is at +6. A fire blast connects to Blade. Time slows down as I see Blade's health bar start ticking away. Memories of our time together and our hard-fought battles come rushing to me. My gaze once again brought back to Blade's health bar, slowly dwindling from this 4 times effective attack that I knew that the Groudon had. Then it stops, as Blade, our starter Pokemon's HP, hits 0, and he dies. Is this the end? All of that just to lose Blade, here now? Against the worst version of my own Pokemon? I failed Hunter, and I let down Blade, my partner. Do I even deserve to become the Pokemon champion if I can't even keep my starter alive? But just as the darkness was consuming me, a brilliant red light appeared next to me, and I knew Blade's body might have been pushed past its limit, but his spirit still clings on to me, and well it is, I refuse to lose. We switch Chosen in the Vengeance to battle this legendary beast. Chosen goes for a Surf against the Titan, but ends up getting burned in the process. Groudon uses Rest to recover its HP, but becomes a sitting duck for Chosen's Surf onslaught. Chosen takes out the false Groudon, getting revenge for its fallen leader. Next out is Porygon 2, so we switch into Hentai to get some Rule 34 going on. But Porygon 2 lands a 50% accurate Zap Cannon and nearly kills Hentai, which forces me to swap into my own Groudon Sediment, who starts off by going for 2 bulk ups before murdering the Porygon 2 with a Vital Throw. Her next Pokemon is a Quagsire, and we stay in and kill it with a single Earthquake. Her final Pokemon is an Ariados that we kill with a single Ancient Power. I cannot believe that we lost Blade in that fight, but I refuse to let his death be in vain. We will become the champion, not for me, but for him. Our final Elite Four member is a Dragon Master named Drake. The battle starts and he sends out a Dugtrio, and I send out Hentai, so fearing a ground move and knowing I'm slower, I switch into Chosen to avoid damage. Chosen goes for a Dragon Dance while Dugtrio lands a Slash, but since Chosen has Effect Spore, Dugtrio ends up paralyzed. So we Dragon Dance a second time before killing it with a Surf. His next Pokemon is a Relicanth, which I think we can kill with an Earthquake, but Relicanth barely lives and hits back with an Ancient Power that almost kills Chosen. But we are faster, so we stay in, planning to kill it with another Earthquake, but Drake fully heals the Relicanth, but the results don't change. Relicanth goes down. His next Pokemon is a Crobat, so we switch into Sediment for the super effective Ancient Power, but we end up getting Confuse Raid and we hurt ourselves. We go for Ancient Power again and kill the Crobat with a critical hit. Blade must have been helping with that one. Next he sends out Eradicate, which we kill in a single Vital Throw, and his last Pokemon is Arbok, which we snap out of Confusion and also kill in one shot with Earthquake. With that, we have defeated all 4 Elite Four members, and we just have to beat the champion. And I have been planning on how I want to do this from the very start. And since Blade isn't here to do it, we'll have to use the next best thing. Before going in, we use all 10 rare candies that I found during the run to get everyone to level 55 and Sediment to level 58, the level cap. We're now ready for the final battle against Wallace. Everything comes down to this final battle. We enter the room and the battle starts. Wallace sends out his Sunflora and I send out Chosen. And we have a plan. We kill the Sunflora right out of the gate with a Drill Peck to avoid status moves. And Wallace sends out his Machamp, who tanks a Drill Peck and lowers our speed by 2 stages with Scary Face. Wallace fully heals the Machamp as we go for a Drill Peck. Predicting the heal, we go for a Dragon Dance, but we predicted wrong and we end up eating a Cross Chop. Judging from the damage, we can eat another one, so we decide to play it safe by killing it with a Drill Peck immediately. The next Pokemon Wallace sends out is a Blastoise, one that has the exact same moveset as the one we fought in the 8th gym. So I know how to beat this thing. On the turns that it heals or protects, I can get a free Dragon Dance off. Eventually, we get up to 3 Dragon Dances and kill it with a Drill Peck. Wallace sends out a Hypno, the starter that I chose Stantler over. And thank God we did, because that Hypno goes down to a single Drill Peck. Wallace sends out his Seaking, but there is only one King of the Sea, and it's Chosen. Seaking goes down to a single Drill Peck. Wallace sends out his last Pokemon, and it's a Starmie. Chosen uses one last Drill Peck and kills the glowing star in a single hit, single-handedly sweeping the champion, avenging his fallen leader Blade, and becoming the new Pokemon champion. After the battle, Wallace guides us into the Hall of Fame, where our team is memorialized for all of time, even Blade. And that, my friends, is the story of how I became the Pokemon Emerald champion. I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart and everyone here at the Game Knights. Thank you for watching all the way to the end of the video. It means so much to all of us here, from Titan, Prophet, Pogo Jim, and myself. Thank you. If you enjoyed this video, maybe drop a like and subscribe. And if you guys pester me enough, maybe I'll start streaming the runs over on Twitch. Anyway, I hope you all have a very good rest of your day, and I hope to see you here next time. Deuces!